Yep, we're good. We are good to start.
All right. So you want to talk first, and then
Yeah.
and then I will introduce again, right?
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. I am Michelle Carter. I'm the director of the Aram Public Library, and we are so happy to have Alejandro Cano with us this morning, who is a tour guide live from Costa Rica, who will be taking us around and visiting the Arenal Volcano that is at the National Park in Costa Rica. So join us on our adventures, travels with the Aram Public Library, and take it away, Alejandro.
All right. Good morning. So usually I start with my camera on my face in selfie mode, but today I changed because this is worth for you to see. Arenal Volcano. It's getting cloudy from time to time, so it's a good opportunity to take advantage of this and see how nice is this volcano. All right, it's a perfect conical shape. Arenal Volcano in the national park. So just a few seconds more for you to enjoy, because once we get to the viewpoint in 1 hour or so we don't know if we'll be even more clear or cloudy. So that's why I am not in the selfie mode for my introduction. So the idea is to go to a viewpoint and see the volcano even closer, right? So, but now, this, we are at the very entrance. Here, hello again, my friends. I hope you enjoy our tour in the coffee farm. But here, we are in the Arenal Volcano National Park at the very entrance. So, my friends, this is supposed to be a very nice day. So, it's kind of the day is not too hot today. I will switch to the other side. So it's just perfect. So it's a little bit windy and partially cloudy. So my friends, rules of the park. So no plastic. People cannot stay overnight. It's only to visit and walk during the day. And for you, oh, look, I saw a nice bird. Just I'm going to interrupt my introduction because there is a super nice bird over there. On top of that, oh, look, white-throated magpie. Okay, I'm trying to get closer. Look, that
look. It looks like a woodpecker almost.
Well, it's a jay.
Yeah. It looks almost like a woodpecker.
Yeah, it's in some way, yes, because it has the crest. So let's see, it moved. There are some of them. That's not the only one. Let me look. Oh man, it's even closer. White-throated magpie.
How big is that bird, Alejandro? How many centimeters or inches?
It's way big. It could be some 45 centimeters. So it's double of a woodpecker.
So like that?
It's double size.
Wow. Beautiful bird. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Look. Oh man.
Oh. Yeah.
I wonder how tranquil is this bird. Probably knows that has an audience from the United States. They said 15 minutes of fame. Let's see, we are against the light, so that's why.
Does he know what kind of bird that is? What kind, Alejandro, we're getting a question.
White,
What kind of bird is it?
White-throated magpie jay. White-throated magpie jay. White-throated magpie jay. I'm trying to see it from the other side. The tail. That's the tail. This is from the back. And then, let's see from the other side. We are covering all possible. Oh man, this is cool. Here. Look. See the head? So it's windy. Wow, white-throated magpie jay. It's a beautiful bird. However, it's the sound is not really nice. It's like another jay, you know, like the brown jay and things, a similar sound. So it should have a better or a nicer song, but anyway, it's nice. My friends, so start from the beginning. I'm going to share just for a couple of minutes some photos for you to know where we are. So again, we'll take just a couple of minutes because this is important for you to know where we are. So I'm not moving, so don't worry, we are not missing anything. Just show you this. Again, this is Costa Rica. And last time in the coffee farm, it was like you see the yellow star? We were there. Now we are in La Fortuna. La Fortuna near the lake. From the viewpoint, we will see the lake also. So from San Jose to La Fortuna is about 3.5 hours driving non-stop. So it's where we are in direction to Nicaragua. So you can see better now where, so now you are oriented more or less where we are in La Fortuna, 3.5 hours from San Jose. The volcano, what you see from town, the nearest town is this. This is the volcano, Arenal Volcano, that we saw it already with some clouds, but this is what you see from town. Then next to it is another volcano, but in this case, the one to your left, so is extinct, right? Only the Arenal, the one that the peak, the tall peak, is active, is alive, and the other one, this one, is called Sleeping Indian. Sleeping Indian. You see, because this is the head to the left, the belly, and the rest, right? You can imagine.
That is something, huh?
Yeah, it's a dreaming Pocahontas or something. I don't know, but that's one of the common names. Sleeping Indian and Arenal Volcano. This is what you see from town. So this is the viewpoint where we are going to end up today. 7,000 year old. So Michelle, I can hear my voice. Probably it's another computer or something. So it's kind of a feedback. This is where we go today. A stratovolcano is about 4,000 feet. So 60 or no, actually about 5,000 feet will be over sea level. This is the place we are looking for. And from one side, this is what you see actually. From where we are, we will see only one peak, the one to the right. But if you see the volcano from one side, there are actually two peaks. We cannot see it from here because we are to the right of that photo. So we will see only one peak, but next to it is another crater. So the volcano is actually two peaks. We saw before one peak, one single triangle, but actually there are two. This is an old photo of when in 1968, when the volcano exploded. The explosion in 1968 wasn't at the top, but was here. You see, almost at the very base of the volcano. I amplify here. So the 1968, the explosion wasn't at the top. So then from the air, this is what you see, the two peaks, crater C and crater D. I will explain you a little bit later. Crater A exploded in 1968, then crater B, and finally the crater C. And the old D. Some of the destruction in 1968, 50 years ago, 52 years ago or something. And so we will see some of them, maybe not, who knows, right? So this is part of my common all over the country, also here. Oh, look, what we saw is this one, actually. We saw that one, white-throated magpie, yeah? This is the one we saw. Also, this guy is common here, and this one. Also, this one. Some other birds. This one is super popular here in this area. And other nice animals, like this one. Isla Spit Viper. Just for you to know, those are orchids that hopefully we'll see today. And some other trees. We'll talk about those trees. So that's the end of the photos. And then, all right. So here we are, still at the very beginning. So let me show you what we are going to do. Okay. With my laser. Let's see, you see the light, right? So we are here. And the idea is to go take this trail. You see the light going up to the viewpoint. To do this from here to the viewpoint. The last part will be the lava trail. So we will walk, and at the end will be the rocks of lava of the explosion in 1992. All right, my friends, questions? Everything all right? Yeah? Ready to walk?
Ready to walk. Everything's fine.
All right. So here, today, what we are going to see is two types of forest. A regeneration forest, which is this, or a regeneration process of the forest, and secondary forest at the very end. So secondary and regeneration. Anyone knows or have an idea what is a secondary forest and what is regeneration forest? Well, regeneration is because this area probably was destroyed even by the volcano or by agriculture, because this park, it was established in 1991, so it wasn't a national park all the time. So before the park, it was used for agriculture and to, you know, grow cows and horses and things like that. But now it's in a regeneration process. This, what you see, looks like what? Tell me.
Bamboo.
Looks like bamboo, looks like a sugar cane, but it's none of those. This is wild cane. It's called wild cane. In South America, they use this for rustic construction. Instead of iron, they use this with mud in order to build rustic houses, especially indigenous people or people living in countryside. in South America, especially in Bolivia and in Peru, some parts of Ecuador and Colombia.
And
Here,
is
the what?
it strong?
How do you, Alejandro, how do you say it in Spanish?
What?
The cane.
It's caña brava is the name in Spanish, or here in Costa Rica is caña brava. Caña brava. This is not edible, but it's diuretic. So they make an infusion, they macerate part of the plant and they drink it in order to, you know, for people who needs, you know, something diuretic. Also, people smash the root and part of the plant in case of a snake bite to minimize the symptoms of the bite. So you have to run to the hospital, but anyway, meanwhile, it helps with the symptoms. So that's another use of that. Another use in the industry is the earphones, the one, not the silicone one, but the ones that looks like a foam. They use this material to make the earphones. The material of this. But it's important in the forest because the wind brings the seeds and they colonize big areas. And they easy grow, easy falls. So like here, that's why it's regeneration. So let's say, for example, that is nothing here, just grasses. But the wind brings the seeds of these plants. They live maybe 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, and naturally they die and see what happened. So they are dying already. And then it's another compost. They create another layer, bigger and more nutritious layer for other type of trees that we can see right here. We not only have those canes or wild cane, but we have this type of trees, right? So those live longer. They could live 70 years to 100 years. And naturally they die. And when those trees die, naturally creates another layer even better for bigger trees that needs more nutrients. And those trees, they could last for centuries, right? And then becomes in a primarily or mature forest. So you see, now we see the process now of cane, and little by little, we find different type of trees. This one could live maybe 70 years or so, right? Look. So those will replace those canes with no human intervention. So that's how the forest rebuilt itself. Let's say that the volcano destroys everything again. So soon, little by little, we will see the same process. First, grasses, then canes and ferns, like those, right? And then they die. We will have better quality trees like those. And soon, maybe in 30 minutes or so, we will see completely different type of forest. So it changes automatically.
Is this true?
Interesting.
Alejandro, we have a question.
Is this
Yeah.
true for all forests or just the forests of Costa Rica?
Can you hear it okay? The question is this true of all forests or just the forests in Costa Rica?
This is, I don't understand the question. This is true forest or what? Can you repeat me, please?
Yeah, so in the forest situation with the volcano,
Yeah.
is this true of all volcanoes that the forest will replenish like this? Or is it only unique to Costa Rica?
Well, it depends. It depends, of course, because this is a rainforest. In a rainforest, there are different conditions. If we have, for example, in another part of the world, a volcano that destroys everything, so not necessarily will be replaced by forest with the time. No. So it's in a case not only the Costa Rica, but in general in rainforest. Has to be a rainforest for a process like this. In a dry forest, it doesn't happen that way, right? So in Mediterranean areas, for example, it doesn't go this process. It is in Costa Rica and in places with rainforest only. So yeah, it's not everywhere and not every time when a volcano explodes, so the forest will be regenerated, right? So it has to be different conditions, mainly to be in a rainforest, right? So for example, this tree, you have those, and who knows what is this? Because it's very common in the United States and well, in the world. So there are 850 species of this type of tree and produces a fruit that you like very much. What would it be? Ficus or ficus. That's the famous ficus. Of course, we have different plants hanging from this tree, but this is the famous ficus. Important in rainforest because you see all the roots here on top. In the forest you have, for example, in Wisconsin and around, right? So you don't see the roots like here. Right. The roots are exposed. See, look. Even if it's a big tree like this or a tiny plant, you will see the roots. Any idea why? Why in the rainforest we see all the roots, and in the trees you have in North America or way down to South America, we don't see the roots of the trees. Any idea why? It's a very important reason for that.
Because of the water?
Exactly. Has to do with the water. Because in the rainforest, the soil is poor in nutrients because the water washes the nutrients. So it's nothing deep there. So the nutrients are on top of the ground. The trees and even the little plants, they find the food, right? So they cannot invest their energy developing deep roots because it's nothing there, because the water washes the nutrients. But as the leaves are coming all the time, the nutrients are just on top and the root has to be on top. Also, you saw the system of the roots, they create like a little pools, right? To keep the water, right? So it has to do with the water and with the nutrients on top of the ground. So imagine, yeah, tell me.
A question, they talk about Brazil, and they say that the forest is going away.
Yeah.
Is that because the roots are being used or destroyed where they are, and they don't know how, they just don't go deeper?
Hello.
So if you wanted to kill a rainforest, you would kill the roots, correct?
So I couldn't hear you. I lost you when you talk about Brazil, that they are losing forest, but then it was in like a mute or something. So there's a little problem with the sound or something.
You might want to come a little closer, Trish, because it's communicating through the owl.
if you wanted to kill a rainforest, if you wanted to kill a rainforest, would you kill the roots?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The roots. Well, well, no, it's very difficult to kill a rainforest, and I will show you that when we get to the lava rocks, and it's very, very difficult. I would say maybe impossible to kill a rainforest. Even if you burn all of this in fire, so the life will come again. I will show you that with an example for real at the very end when we walk by the lava rocks. So there you will understand how difficult, and you will see how difficult will be to extinguish a forest or destroy a life here. So the only way to destroy permanently would be like burning everything and putting concrete on top. Otherwise, so it will continue growing and growing. So, but at the end, I will show you that, right? So someone was talking about the forest in Brazil, right? When we lost the connection.
And that I don't understand. In Brazil, which of course is not where you're at, but they have problems with destroying the forest, destroying the rainforest.
Yeah.
And I want to know how we could prevent that.
Yeah, well, the case of Brazil is different because all the rainforest is the same. We could be right now in Indonesia, so I would talk about the same things. So rainforest is just one compact thing all around the world in the tropics. So it's the same if we talk about Brazil or Costa Rica. The rainforest is basically the same, right? So, but the problem in Brazil has to do with human intervention, because authorities, or many of the authorities, they don't want part of the Amazon because they are looking for industry, right? And land for farmers, cows and rice and many other things. So we have the human intervention in Brazil. So they are systematically destroying part of the forest in order to convert it in industry or condominiums and farms. So this is a different case. So there is that forest is not being destroyed naturally, maybe a little bit, but for global warming and things, but mainly because people, they are destroying on purpose, right? They burn it and they replace it with grasses and they keep it like that, right? So now we have the human intervention at all time in Brazil in order to prevent the regeneration. So that's a political and economical and social problems, right? In Brazil, that's the point. So how to combat or prevent the destruction of Amazon? So has to be deal in the government of Brazil, not exactly in the forest, but with the authorities to stop growing farms and things like that, or industries where the forest is. So that's the problem, right? So that's a very particular situation.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
What is the temperature there?
Well, it's maybe about, in Fahrenheit will be about some 80, right? Some 80 will be at this very moment in here in Fahrenheit. But let me, to be sure of that. Yeah, I'm checking here on our device for the temperature, but I think it's 80. You see, little by little, okay, little by little, we have some differences. and the sun is coming up. Yeah, it's 80 is what I thought. Yeah. So now if I walk looking upward, this is what you will see. So I'm walking with my head up. So, and this is the view, the canopy. So now at the very beginning, we didn't have those because it was only the canes, the wild cane. But this is what you see looking upward. So it's a place to relax, to breathe, and about breathe. So now the smell here is really nice. So it's kind of a mix of different plants, right? Like grasses and fruits, something like that. But it's very, very pleasant smell we have here. Look, I give you a 360 of how this place. So it's still some part of the, we came, and I give you a treat. Yes.
What do you hear when you're walking through there? Are you hearing bird calls? Is it quiet?
It's quiet because it's kind of, for a bird, it's kind of hot for a bird, so they are not singing right now. What you hear now is the wind, but I have this thing, you see this weird thing to prevent the sound of the wind. But if I take it out, so you will hear the wind. It's actually the only sound we have right now, the wind, and that's it. Which is nice. It's nice. From time to time, of course, we can hear a bird, but just one call and that's it. But no, they are probably looking the shade because for them is quite hot right now. Of course, so we have some people walking here, so you can hear like different languages from Europe or from who knows where. So that's the other sound we have. It's got different languages, Spanish, German, Norwegian, and many others. Today is kind of a lot of people here. You don't feel it. I know there are a lot of people because I saw, and you saw also, a lot of cars. Remember at the very beginning? But once here, you see a couple walking and then another tiny group, things like that. But you don't feel like the place is crowded, right? So we know it, but we don't see much people.
Is it real humid there?
It's real. Oh yeah. That's is humid. Yes, it's humid. The thing is, it's windy, so it helps a lot, right? It helps a lot because it's windy. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, so yeah, it would be very, very humid. So now let me see.
How often does it rain?
Oh, almost every day. Here it rains a lot, even during the dry season, which is right now. It rains a lot. Look this tree. This is called the autograph tree. Autograph because you can write with your nail. See? You can write. So Alejandro was here, right? So this is the autograph or autograph tree, scientific name Clusia ubitana. The only problem is that it's toxic. It releases a sap. So for example, right now I cannot touch my eyes with my fingers because it irritates, right? Irritate the skin or especially the eyes. But if you are lost in forest, and if you need to live at something that people know that you were here, so you put here, help, I'm in forest, lost, please don't look for me. I don't want to go back to the city, so don't look for me. So you can leave something like that. The autograph tree.
Autograph tree.
What else we see here? So this is the question. Take a look of all the leaves. The shape. The shape, and all of them, even different type of leaves, different families of plants, they end up in a tip and looking downward. So the question is, why is that? Can you tell me why those leaves, they end up in the same shape, even different type of plants? Hey, even grasses, if you check the grasses, so they have the same ending and they are looking downward. They are looking to the ground. Why? So many hundreds of different type of plants, different families of plants, why they all have this ending and looking downward? Okay, that's the question. Even the cane have the same thing. Why? What could be the reason?
The sky.
Because of what?
Catching the water or the sky, getting the sunlight.
Getting sunlight.
Okay, has to do with the water, yes. And what else? Why the water?
Water must be below.
Okay, yes, exactly. So remember, we are in a rainforest, and those plants, they need the water. Few days, even 3 or 4 days without water could be really, really bad for these plants, because what? We are in a rainforest and the plants are here because they love water. Huge quantities of water. Not only they like it, but they need it. What is the most efficient way to retain the humidity in the ground? Well, to help the water go down to the ground, like let me show you. Like here, for example, you can see it clearly. It helps the water to go to the water and keep the soil humid, right? So that's why all the plants helps the water to go easier or easily to the ground, and they end up in a tip. So because the water doesn't stay on top of the leaf, so they need the water in the ground. So that's why all the plants are helping, and they contribute with the humidity in the ground. What happened in a dry forest is that we don't have those leaves. Probably in a dry forest, the leaves will end up like around and looking upward in order to capture some more sunlight, right? So in a dry forest, probably will be different ending of the, or different shapes of the leaves. If you see something different here, it's because it's imported, it's like exotic plant or something, but it's not from a rainforest like this one. Dry forest probably will be something like that, and probably they are looking upward because they need and they want the sunlight here, right? So that is the reason. So you were right. The water, and to help to keep the, oh, look this one. Oh man, you're gonna love this. Look at this weird, how weird. are the plants in a rainforest. Look, you see some marks here, right? Look, red,
Oh, ooh,
like the other one
Red.
here, and the other one here, and all of them. What is the reason? It's because this plant needs a pollinator, a special pollinator, which is a hummingbird. In order to attract the hummingbird, the plant creates and develops this mark, this red spot. So the hummingbird, a special hummingbird, is coming here. When he is attracted by the red, he can see through this. And then the hummingbird, let's say that the hummingbird is my hand, is coming here because it's attracted by the red. It goes to see what is going on, and that way here it found the flower to pollinate. So those are not ready yet, but soon this will be open and the hummingbird can take the nectar, and then the plant gets the pollination. So that's how this plant managed to attract certain type of hummingbird, which is not every hummingbird, but certain type that likes the red. And when by curiosity comes here to check the red, it finds the flower, and that hummingbird has the beak like this, because the hummingbird could have the beak upward like this or like this, this or this. So the hummingbird comes here and finds the hidden flower and get the nectar. So that's why that plant has that marks. So everything has a purpose. Look, another one. Each one. You see?
Very pretty.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing happens by coincidence in a rainforest. Everything, even a little thing, something like you say, no, that should be coincidence, has nothing to do. But yeah, everything has to do with everything, and is made for one important reason, right? Everything, no matter what, whatever you see, whatever you look at, it has a purpose. For example, look this.
that'd be an interesting lecture.
Yes.
Beautiful, right?
Whoa.
Pretty.
So is that
Yes.
poisonous or is that, okay.
Exactly. You don't see animals, you don't see insects. Actually, here you see this one, and the one next to it is already overripe. Why no one ate it? Because it's poison. How insects and birds, they know it's poison? Because the color. Bright color means, in nature, in most of cases, don't touch me, don't get in trouble, right? So here we have another example. This one, intact, no one ate it, right? And this one is already overripe, it's black, so no one ate it. So even the color has a purpose, everything, right? This is what I told you before. So nothing is by coincidence. Any question, my friends? All good there?
Mm-hmm.
We're all good.
Are you drinking some coffee or what?
We wish.
So we have a group, small group, going to the viewpoint as well. And then, little by little, we see different type of vegetation. Remember the other day with coffee, we talked about The
Is it free to go
alkaloids
there? Is it free to go there or you pay?
to enter here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fee to enter. For foreign is $15, $15 per person to enter here. For local people is just less than $2. But yeah, there's a fee and you can stay the whole day. And look, how beautiful is this?
Oh, look how pretty that is.
Also this one is to be pollinated by hummingbirds. But as this one is not hidden behind the plant, so it doesn't need to do any mark. It's just red and yellow, so the pollinators, they come directly here, so they don't need the other trick that the other plant needs, right? You see? Yeah, here people cannot stay overnight, but they can visit here, they can walk up and down, and there are a lot of trails. Here, the one we are doing is just according to the time we have today, but if you can here in person, you can take a longer trail and walk for maybe some 4 hours or something. And there are different entrances, so with the same ticket, so you can go to a different part of the park, right? Hey, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien? So here are people saying hello in Spanglish. Everything has a use. We have to preserve, we talked at the very beginning, preserve the forest, because from forest, from a tree, even from a grass, or who knows, we could find, or doctors and drug makers could find the cure for diseases, for illness. For example, this one is dry already, and it's a common tree that you saw in the photos, maybe the last photo we saw. This is called Cecropia, and you have that one in the United States too, especially in Florida, I saw it. This Cecropia, people use the dry leaf like this one to make an infusion to keep lower levels of sugar, Cecropia. So it works. It's not the cure, because I told you before, we have no cure for diabetes, but it helps in the treatments, right? So, and with many other plants, maybe we will find the cure for many other things. So that's why it's important to keep the forest safe. After all, maybe in between 40 and 60% of the drugs that we get in the pharmacy is coming from plants. If we destroy the whole forest, so imagine we don't have food and we don't have medicines. Who did that? The ants, the leaf cutter ant. Have you seen those ants that carry leaves? So they are cutting this. So that's the mark of the ants. So if I see a group of ants somewhere, so I'll let you know. So I have another question here. For example, in the plan, let me go back. In this one, you see, they destroyed this leaf, part of this one, and a quarter of this one, but they didn't touch this or leaf, and they moved far away. They took some of this, but not all. Why the ants are not here cutting the plant anymore? Even if they have the rest, they could, cut the whole thing as they did with this one. Any idea why they just, cut part of the plant and they didn't destroy the whole thing? Any idea?
Didn't need it.
No, well, if they could, they could destroy the whole thing. Probably happen in your backyard that you have some plants and the ants, they come and then they destroy the whole tree, the whole plant. So they don't mind about ecology. The ants, they just take what they need. But there is another reason. Remember the other day we talked about the caffeine, which is an alkaloid that is poisoned for many insects. Well, those plants, they don't have caffeine, but they do have some alkaloids. You see, like this one, the ants, they came here, they cut part, but they leave the plant alone. After a few hours or after 1 day or two, they leave the plant alone. Why? Is the same reason that of the caffeine. This one has no caffeine, but has another similar alkaloid. That, what is that? Is when the plant realizes that it's under attack, they invest more energy sending toxins or alkaloids to the leaf. So at the very beginning, it's okay for an ant to cut this and take part of the leaf. But in a few hours or in a day, the plant now sends the toxins to the leaf, and the ants, they know that, so they have to go away and look for another plant. That's why when you see the leaf cutter ant, you saw it before, right? In some points, the ants walking with leaves on top, they are looking for different tree, different plants, because the one they took at the very beginning now is poisoned and they have to move away, right? It's the chemical defense mechanism. What happened when they destroyed the whole tree is because the tree didn't have any chemical defense, so they destroyed the whole thing, right? This one, the autograph plant, is poisoned all the time, so that's why the ants not even go for the very first time, right? But many others, they don't have the toxins all the time, so they
So the toxins,
send the toxins
The
only
toxins-
when they are under attack.
that the toxins come to their aid when they're under attack.
Okay, you lost me for a little, right?
Just for a little bit. Did you hear the last question, the last comment?
What was?
So the toxins come out in the plant when it is under attack.
The thing is like this. We have discovered already about 10,000 different toxins or alkaloids, that's the proper name, only in tropics of plants. About 10,000 different toxins. The plant produces those toxins, right? The plant produces that one and invest energy producing more of those toxins when they need it. It's not like the toxin is in certain part, but it's produced by the plant by something similar to hormones, right? In the plant, that they respond to certain signals, like at the attack. When the ants, they start to cut, send the signal for the plant to produce more that toxins and send it to the leaves, right? So it's about investing energy and putting the hormones to work. So did you know what I mean? You got it?
That's great.
Did you? Yeah. So is that clear of the toxins?
So that's why you say it's hard to kill a rainforest.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but we'll say later how difficult it is, almost impossible to kill a rainforest, and you will be amazed for what I will show you with that. So it will be basically impossible to kill, to extinguish life, right? So now it's getting darker and darker, not because the sky is blue still, you see up there, but it's because we are entering little by little to a secondary forest. So that's allowed less light to reach the ground. So little by little, so it's getting darker here. I don't know if you note that through my camera. Little by little darker. So how is the streaming? Is 2 pixelated or no, or more or less?
It's good.
Very nice.
Very nice.
All right. So people, they are going out already. So these people probably, they enter to the park earlier. Look this one, for example. This is a bromelia, same family of pineapples, right?
Oh, pineapple. Oh.
The same family is not a pineapple, but it's a bromelia. And pineapple is another bromelia, right? So pineapple, they don't grow on trees, but in this type of plants. So it's the same family. Even they have the same type of alkaloid. If I bite this, so I will feel like my lips numb. Happen also when you bite a pineapple, that it numbs your mouth a little bit. So it happened the same thing with this. This is maybe the most important plant in a rainforest because it holds water there in between leaves. And in that water, so the frogs, they can to put the eggs, the insects, they use it as a motel. They have encounters there. So, and then this is the nursery, and they keep the humidity in the forest. So it's probably without bromelias like that one, that they grow in the ground or on top of trees. So the rainforest will be very different. So wouldn't be rainforest, only forest without those plants. So it provides with water to monkeys and many other animals. Also, they go there to drink the water that is held in between leaves. This tree, well, this that looks like fern. This one, see, it's tree fern. It's called tree fern. Right? Tree fern, and it's a prehistoric plant. This is supposed to exist during the dinosaur era. This one, and it's called tree fern, and it managed to survive all the eras. So we are in front of a very, very old type of plant. So they survive for millions of years. Oh, what a nice wind. Yeah.
Alejandro, how far is it from the parking lot when you started to where we're going?
That would be about, in miles, would be some 2 miles that we are walking from the very entrance to the viewpoint, right? So yes, let's say 2 miles to make it round from the very beginning to the place we are ending. Of course, I'm walking slower than normal because this is a remote area. So if I walk fast, so probably you will see kind of a weird pixelation or something, right? And you could get dizzy. So I'm walking slower. And now I can hear cicadas or cicadas, right? You have those, right? So
Yes.
I can hear, yeah, I can hear some of those. The ones here are a little different than yours. The ones here, they stay underground for 2 years. And then they go up and they live about 2 months. Yours, they stay like a 17 years on ground, right? Something like that.
17 years.
Yeah.
17 years.
Very noisy. Yeah, about that. So let's see.
How many acres are there?
Well, 12,000 hectares. So that would be like 20,000 acres, 22, something like that, 1,000 acres. Yeah, over 20,000 acres. The whole park, right? The national park. All the volcanoes in Costa Rica are located in national parks, right? So that's one of the reasons they cannot extract anything from a volcano, right? So because they are in a national park. So I cannot cut an orchid from here and take it home, nothing. So here is almost everything prohibited. So no extraction, no hunting. Well, hunting is prohibited anyway here in Costa Rica, anywhere, and of course more in a national park. Through this plants, I can see the volcano and it still is clear. So hopefully, you see
Yep.
a little bit of the top. So we are not far from the viewpoint. So that would be nice. Cross fingers, so it stays like that. Clear, because it's an impressive view from there. So anyone has been here in this park before? I mean, you are here, of course, today, right? Because, yeah, you are in control. Because if you tell me to go back, I go back, I go to the right, so I go right, so you are here. You are in control. But in person, have anyone been here?
No.
Not yet.
Yet, not yet.
Primero.
Sendero coladas. Sendero coladas. What is Spanish class? What is that? Sendero coladas. Sendero coladas. What it means? I know it's a difficult question because it's in Spanish, but what could it be? What would be the translation? It's difficult.
I don't know.
Sendero. What is sendero?
Cilantro?
Sendero. I give you a clue. I'm showing you right now the sendero. Sendero is trail. Trail. Sendero is trail. Now, coladas, that one is difficult. Coladas. What do you remember? What comes to your mind when you say colada?
Pina colada.
Piña colada. That's right. Piña colada. How is the now? So yeah, we are going somewhere. You are good at this. So we have trail and we have colada because of piña colada. But how is the consistency of piña colada? I mean, how is that liquid? Hey, Edwin, how is the consistency of piña colada? It's like a It's not too liquid, but it's not solid. It's something in between, right? Because when you drink piña colada, it's a little bit like a little bit heavy, but not too much like to drink with a spoon, but it's not like water. It's heavier than water, right? So colada refers to a stage of the matter, right? So not too liquid, not too solid, but something in between. And it's because the lava here, when the volcano explodes, has that type of consistency. It wasn't completely rocky, but it wasn't like water exactly, but something like in between, right? So there's the trail of the coladas, because soon we are getting to the lava trail, right? And remember, the lava has the consistency of something colada, right? So I know it's difficult to explain it, but you got the idea, right?
So the trail is mushy.
The trail is what?
Mushy.
Yes, yes.
Soft.
Yeah, well, soon, well, here is just a regular trail because we are not yet to the lava trail, but soon in a few minutes we'll be there, and it's kind of rocky because when the lava got cold, becomes in rocks, right? So we will see it soon. In a very few minutes, we will enter to the lava trail. Now, still we are by the secondary forest. So to my right, this is what you see. If I go there, probably I will walk 50 meters, and probably, very probably, I will have an encounter with a snake, right?
Ooh.
So yeah, and a venomous one, because that is full of those. So full of snakes. If I walk that way, probably I will have encounter also with an angry snake. And I'm not referring to my girlfriend, but a real snake, right? I'm just kidding.
Does she bite you?
Well, yeah, kind of. See, it's sunny again. So that's a good sign that we will see the volcano clear.
How often does it erupt?
Yeah, I think we're stuck. Well, we'll see. I think he said that it erupted in 86 or 91
Okay.
Yeah.
at the
he had
beginning.
one
Okay.
Later.
But I don't know.
First it was 68 and then it was, 90 something.
I gotta go anyway. I gotta pick up my husband.
That was good that you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost it.
We got you.
Here we are. Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah, it was weird. Never happened before here, but anyway, the good thing is we are here already. So this section, you see, looks like we are entering to the witch's forest, like a for a horror movie. You see, darker and
Thicker.
yeah, thicker. Yes. Right. There we go. There we go. Also, it's getting cloudy, but we are almost to the place.
Tolls I've ever had.
Almost to the place. Question, my friends? Something that you want me to talk about?
Alejandro, when was, I think you said at the beginning, the last time the volcano erupted was 91. How often does it erupt?
Well, this is the whole thing. Let me do something here. Now that you remember me, that we are in a volcano, I will show you. Let's go back to the school, like the time when we were at the school, right? Okay, kids. So this is the thing. All right. This is Arenal Volcano. This is the triangle, right? You see it, right? Arenal Volcano. This volcano is 7,000 years old. So the explosion we have, a big explosion was 500 years ago, and it took place here at the top. 500 years ago, more or less, when Christopher Columbus entered to this continent. 500 years, 5 centuries, and was an explosion here. I will put the letter Z. But then the volcano was in calm for 500 years, and all of a sudden, in 1968, it was an explosion here because the conduct from the magma chamber to the top was blocked, of course, with 500 years of no activity. So the conduct, the tubes were blocked, so the lava reached out here in 1968, very close to the base. Let's put the letter A, like Alejandro. But then the activity lasts five years in 1968 here. And this one killed almost 100 people and over 3,000 cows and horses all around the area, 1968. Then the activity continued here in another crater that it was called B, and then finally in crater C, almost to the top. The activity was from 1972, from here to 2010. In 2010, this volcano has been quiet, alive, but not sending lava. But anyway, the lava was sent from A, B, and C, especially the crater C. It was sending lava, and even more lava, that today we have two peaks, the two peaks that I show you before at the beginning, a smaller one and the taller one. This is the one that we are going to see today. This is the crater C that now is even taller than the old one, right? So the activity in this new era, it was from 1968 to 2010, and then it stopped sending lava. We have some tremblings and some steam coming out, but that's it. So the volcano is alive, but it's with the low activity, right? So this is the modern history of the volcano. So I'm not an artist, so that's why I am a tour guide, not a painter or anything, but you got the idea, right? So big explosions we had in 1968, 1973, 1991, 1992, and some more important explosions from time to time in that frame of time of 1968, which was the biggest, and 2010, and then it stopped, right? And here, look what we did already. So, and now we are here. We have left this part. In 5 minutes, we'll be at the viewpoint. We will the lava trail. So we did all of this. All right, I mean, little by little. Okay, I have a question for you. Why or how the volcanoes are formed? There are many ways that the volcano can be formed or created. This is an stratovolcano that is made out of layers and layers. So before 7,000 years ago, where we see the triangle, the volcano, it was flat. And it was created little by little by layers and layers of lava. So anyone can tell me how a volcano is formed? Any volcano anywhere in the world. So then I will explain you how this type of volcano, or most of the volcanoes from North America to South America, how they are formed. But I want to hear some ideas.
It's the shifting plates.
Right.
Okay. But how is that process? How it happened?
Through earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And
Because
what?
it's not like it's fixed. It's
All right.
moving.
So let's see. It moves. Yes. So this is the thing. Yeah, that's right. The place we are here is called lithosphere. That is a layer. Let's see. This is a layer, is where we are right now, right? And it's called lithosphere. But beneath of that is a stenosphere, which is here, deeper. All right. So in the lithosphere, nothing happens. We have just rocks like this one, cold rocks, and it's the bored layer of the planet, because here in this section that is about 50 kilometers or 80 kilometers, maybe 100. So nothing happens here. But beneath of that, we have another layer that is about more than 100 kilometers. This one is where the magma chambers are. It's hot. It's a lot of pressure here, and in certain points we have the magma chambers. Magma is the lava when it's outside, and magma inside in the asthenosphere. Okay, that we have in one hand. In the other hand, we have the plates. Like here, we have a plate, in this case, the Caribbean plate, and here we have the Pacific plate. Pacific plate is lower and deeper than the Caribbean plate. When they move toward this one, denser and deeper, goes under subduction, under the Caribbean plate, and the water and humid sediments from the Pacific plate touches the magma chamber. What happens when you have humid sediments or water and hot magma? Vapor, right? And that vapor is easy for the vapor to go through the lithosphere and create the volcano, right? Water from the Pacific under the Caribbean plate, the water or the humid sediments combined with the magma chamber create tubes of vapor and the way for the magma to go out and then creates the volcano. Simple, right? This is one way to create a volcano. Of course, Hawaiian volcanoes are different because they are located on top of super hot spots, and as the plate moves, the magma chamber stay put, and then they have the volcanoes, right? So that's how Hawaii is, and the all islands are created. That's a different way to create a volcano. But now I'm walking by the lava trail. This is lava. This is lava. Back in the day, in 1992, it was a liquid, like the colada. It was moving little by little, stopped here, got cold and solid, and now it's a rock, right? All of this, you see, already covered by grasses. That is the lava, all of that. And in 1 minute, we'll be at the viewpoint and in the middle of the lava rocks. I'm standing in the lava rock. All right, let's go. And almost there. Almost, my friends. All right. Here we are at the viewpoint, my friends. Look, remember the photo I showed you? I have that photo. Now we are here. And this is the viewpoint of Arenal and the end of the trail. The famous Arenal volcano, and all of this around me. Look, this is the lava rocks. And prepare your eyes because you will see something beautiful in a minute. All of this is the lava rocks. All of this. Look. The Arenal Lake is there. See how nice.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That was worth the climb, Alejandro.
Oh yes. And I will give you a 360 starting here at the lake.
You tried it.
Maybe he has.
Look.
That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
It's really, really, really nice. Wow, look the sky, everything. Oh man.
So
And we are
nothing
almost with the
the forest.
360. And here
Wind.
we are again to the lake. All right. And now,
Can't
course.
destroy the forest.
All right. Yeah, this is what happened. I will show you, for example, let's take this rock. This is a rock with no minerals, right? This is lava. And in 1992, it was destroying everything around. This is lava. It's solid right now and converted in rock. But a rock with no nutrients, look what happened. The wind broke, only the wind broke lichens. This white thing is creating a carpet here in the rock. Even moss is coming with the wind. The spores are bringing here by the wind and attach as a carpet in the rock. They can make their own food, so they don't need much to live, so they attach to a rock, right? So then what happened that because we have this carpet of lichens and moss, the grass is coming here because the grass needs just a little to live. This is an orchid, and a small orchid. Has no flower yet, but it's coming out. They just need just a thin carpet of lichens and moss to attach because also the wind broke the grass here to the rock. So first we have the rock with no nutrients and nothing. Then the wind broke the lichens and moss. And with the time, in a few years, we have some grasses and orchids coming and living from that thin carpet of lichens and moss. Those orchids and those grasses, they die in 1 year or two, usually in 1 year. And when they die, it creates a natural compound, an organic compound for those trees. These bushes, now they can live because they use the dead material. When this grass dies in 6 months or in 1 year, we'll have the nutrients, enough nutrients for this type of plant, right? That maybe will live 2 or 3 years and naturally they die. What happened when this one dies? That we have more nutrients for a tree like this one. That is the same thing. All of those that you see over there, they will die maybe in 50, 70 years or around. And then what happened when they die? Naturally, you will have those big trees that you see at the end, those super big trees. You see all of those? They will live 1,000 years, 500 years, or even more. So from a rock, from nothing, which is a rock and no human intervention, you have secondary forest and mature forest, or if you want to call it, a jungle. Starting from what? From nothing, because this is a rock that contains nothing, and you can see it here. But if we come back here in a few years, this one will be covered probably by those white and brown things, lichens and moss. With no human intervention, this rock with nothing, in 200 years is what it takes to convert to become enough forest. 200 years, 150 to 200 years, instead of rocks, you will have a jungle. So with no human
really
intervention.
Just a rock? Is it really just a rock? Is it really just lava?
It's just rock because the only thing it contains is carbon and silica. and not major or minor nutrients that a plant needs to live. But what is first is this, because the requirements for food is not the same of these tiny guys, the lichens and the moss. They don't need the major, the 16 or 17 nutrients that normally we need, right? So that's is the beginning. It's a process. It's about levels, right? So when you just need wind and something to attach with, right? Then this one, it provides little nutrients, but not for all, only for grasses, because a tree cannot survive here, but the grass can survive, and then it dies. Like this one is dying, and you can see now, on top of the dead grasses, you have those, right? More complex plants. They don't live much, and then when they die, so you have another carpet. It's about producing layers and layers, or better quality layers for better plants. So, and you can see, for example, over there, all of that, let's say 10 years ago or something, or more, it was only rocks, not even one plant, and now we have those. And there, right? Little by little. And you can see it on the volcano. You see how the green is conquering just the ash. You know, ash from a volcano is very little nutrients for a complex plant. But you see, the green over there is conquering every time more and more upward, right? So that's how is the process, and is that what is very difficult to extinguish life, because even with rocks you will have a lot of life, right? So that's the thing. That's how you cannot extinguish life. So that's why humans, we will survive probably, right? To anything.
Quite spiritual.
Amazing, right? Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yes.
You're coming up to our closing time for this program.
Yeah.
But we thank you so much
Oh,
for
we
this
thank
wonderful
you. Thank you
tour and
so
seeing
much.
your beautiful country. And you are just so wonderfully
Amazing.
knowledgeable.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And one more thing, so you know me already a little bit, and you know that I'm a coffee drinker, right? Remember the other day? So what I did the other day, so I cannot live. Yes, of course, my friends. So I have, remember this one that my friend gave me the other day? So I brought this coffee, so I'm going to prepare it right now. You know, I'm a coffee lover, or coffee addict or something. So I brought the hot water. So wherever I go, I bring the hot water right here, and then the coffee and all of that. So if you excuse me for a minute, so I will put my gimbal here because I need my two hands. Just one sec, and I'll be with you in a minute. Let me look for a nice place for you to see. Let me look a place, because I need to. Okay, hopefully here. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, I leave you here for a minute. So I have to disconnect my microphone. Just 30 seconds. Meanwhile, I use my two hands to put the coffee in the bag. All right.
Okay, we'll wait.
It's so funny.
All right.
because-
So I
Got it.
have it. And then I put the coffee already there. Oh man. You know, my friends, I like to live the easy life. So what I'm going to do right now is the same thing that I did in the coffee farm. I stood there for a couple of hours, enjoying my coffee and watching the landscape. In this case, I will watch the, drink my coffee and then watching the volcano and all of that, and just having fun for a
You
while.
are-
Now it's almost no one here, just two people around, but no one else. It's like the volcano today is for you and me only, right? So
Very nice.
now,
That is really right.
Will you come back? Will you come back again?
Let us know if you have a new tour, Alejandro.
Or you want to show an old one? Oh, it is. It's like being able to go there, Michelle.
Yeah, I think we.
We lost contact. But you know what I mean? There's nothing like it that I know of in a format like this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fabulous.
all right, here we are. And all right, here we are. Salud.
Salud. Salud.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Gracias.
Oh man,
That's-
this is life. I love
life.
you.
Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Again, this is possible because of you, right? And thank you for all the questions and your comments and all that. And it's not the same without you. And thank you for the whole day in the coffee farm and here in this beautiful day with this beautiful volcano and the lake and all that and the forest. So now I'm staying here. I will sit in a rock and see what happens. Hopefully the volcano won't explode today.
All right, well, you be careful and thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
And again, please take care of